Hello, this is Mark. This is the trade site Forex market preview for Sunday, the 6th of May, ending Friday, the 11th, 2018. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. Obviously, came up this week. Let's look at the daily charts. We'll go through the intra-week action, and then we'll look at the data coming out this week and get a roadmap. Here's the euro dollar. Obviously, the inverse of the dollar index slipped when the dollar went stronger. Here's the pound dollar, also slipped. So it was a good week for movement. One of the better weeks we've seen in a while. Hasn't really been doing anything. Here's the euro yen, also slipped back, although it's still in the range from the last couple of months. Aussie dollar tried to sweep the lows from that bottom that we got in December with that 13 buy signal, and it worked. So there's that. Here's the pound yen. But we have no signals, nothing to really look at in the markets from that perspective. It's just that we slipped this week. Dollar index got stronger. Here's the 30-minute candle. So the euro dollar high to low for the week is 100 or 220 pips. It's pretty decent. Most of it was on Monday and Tuesday. Here's the pound dollar, 300 pips of range. So one of the better weeks we've seen in terms of action and range in a while, and it was all in one direction. So we're good to go there. All right, let's take a look at the economic data coming out this week. Remember, we just got through the Fed meeting. We got the unemployment rate. We got the trade balance out of the way. So all those numbers are gone. Sunday, we've got monetary policy meeting minutes from Japan, business confidence out of Australia, German factory orders out of Europe going into Monday. Bank holiday for the UK, so it'll be a little light. CPI out of Switzerland, retail PMI out of Europe, Centix investor confidence out of Europe, loan officer survey here in the U.S. at some point, and consumer credit in the afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern time on Monday. Household spending at 7:30 out of Japan, that's 7:30 Eastern time. Retail sales out of Australia, trade balance out of China, foreign direct investment out of China, inflation expectations out of New Zealand, 10-year bond auction out of Japan. Switzerland has the unemployment rate at 1:45 a.m. Eastern time. German industrial production and trade balance at 2 a.m. Eastern time going into Tuesday. France goes on a bank holiday. Got a Fed chair speaking somewhere in the world. Halifax HPI, housing price index out of the UK. Australia's annual budget release. NFIB small business index here in the US at 6 a.m. Eastern time Tuesday morning. Housing starts out of Canada. JOLTS job openings here in the US. IBD tip economic optimism. Got BRC retail sales monitor, average cash earnings out of Japan, Westpac consumer sentiment out of Australia, leading indicators out of Japan, French industrial production out of Europe going into Wednesday, M2 money supply, new loans out of China, Italian retail sales, German 30-year bond auction, 10-year bond auction out of the UK, building permits out of Canada, PPI out of the US at 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Not a big deal. Wholesale inventories at 10 a.m., crude oil inventories at 10:30. 10-year bond auction out of the U.S. at 1 o'clock p.m. Got a rate announcement out of New Zealand at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. Japan's got their bank lending and current account that night going into Australia's MI inflation expectations, CPI and PPI out of China. And now we're all the way till Thursday where we've got a bank holiday for Switzerland, France, and Germany. Weird week for holidays. ECB economic bulletin, Italian industrial production. UK's got their manufacturing production, goods trade balance, construction output, industrial production. And then they've got a Bank of England rate announcement, 7 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday. NHPI out of Canada. CPI out of the US, that's one of our big three each month, so we'll be half size ahead of that, along with the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims at 8:30 on Thursday. Natty gas at 10:30, 30-year bond auction, Fed budget balance at 2 p.m., FPI out of New Zealand that night, M2 money stock and home loans out of Australia, the money stocks out of Japan, unemployment rate out of Canada, import prices here in the U.S., and then preliminary University of Michigan sentiment. And that is it. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading week.